All right, and we're live. Thanks, guys, for joining. Today is May 15th. It is the evening crypto cast here at The Real Shaw 256. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at The Real Shaw 256. Want to bring you a short video today, not a whole lot of news, except for the fact that today is the last day, or was the last day, for the consensus meetup in New York. The conference started a couple days ago. It is probably the most famous gathering in the crypto space and all of the industry. A lot of big names, a lot of stuff happening, and usually we see a pump, right? We see price of Bitcoin going up. The alts are going up today too. Earlier today, funny enough, I was getting into work and I was checking on the price of Bitcoin, and all of a sudden I saw that all the alts were also pumping. For the most part, the alts were pumping. Sorry about that, guys. Um, so we're going to talk about that today. See if the pump is due to the consensus conference and pretty much all the conferences that are following this and prior to this too. Usually we see the price start to move. I've said it in a couple of my last videos. We do typically see a pump in April. No difference this year. Although last year we didn't see much of a pump. A kind of a dead cat bounce, but nothing really happening, nothing worth mentioning. But the prior years, 2016, 2015, 2014, those years did actually see a pump in price for April. So let's take a look and see. First thing I wanted to mention here, though, is again, it's definitely something worth bringing up is the amount of volume that we have seen in the last 24 hours, $107 billion, right? That's a level we've actually never seen in the crypto sphere, in the crypto space, as far as volume traded in the last 24 hours. Never seen anything like it. 107 billion, almost half the entire market cap. We're at 252,000, also a number we haven't seen in a very long time. Although it's not really correlating with the price of Bitcoin, right? It's pretty much staying stagnant. Actually, I'm going to flip over to this tab here. So price is pretty much staying stagnant in this area here. In fact, we just saw Bitcoin trying to dip down into the 21 exponential here and bouncing right up against it. So we see the 21 acting as support all the way through up here. But again, it's really, this here worries me a little bit. Two things here. One is that we've actually set a lower high for the first time in a long time. Okay, so that is something I'm definitely going to be watching out for. Lower high. Is this going to continue, right? Are we going to continue down this trend? And ultimately, start heading down. I do like, and I do feel pretty good about the fact that it actually touched the 21 exponential and actually bounced right up from it. So it's still acting as support, um, and it's staying within those bounds. Now, if we see the price of Bitcoin drop down into this area here, onto the 30 simple, and we see that dropping down significantly down below, then we're certainly are likely to keep setting more lower highs and lower lows, from this pattern overall here. And we could see the scenario play out, the scenario that I actually drew out for you guys a couple of days ago. We could see that actually playing out, or the beginning of it, right? Um, I have also consulted with a couple of the traders. They seem to think that we could possibly make a smaller move into kind of this area here, the above the 7,400 range, and then make another bullish move upward. Again, that was this morning, before we set this lower high on the 4 hour. Now I look at the 4 hour because time wise, that's probably one of the lowest time frame that I think has any real bearing on the price and the action and any sort of sign about where Bitcoin might go. So I usually don't go lower than 4 hours for anything significant, right? You definitely want to go 4 hour or maybe a higher time frame. Um, I actually drew out, yeah, here it is. We're also up against this resistance here at right around, what is it, 8,200. We've actually touched it and breached it a couple times within the last few days as we were looking at the 4 hour chart here. We've actually touched it a couple of times up here at we actually went above 8,300, but it's not feeling comfortable up there. Bitcoin's not feeling like it belongs there yet. So we've actually seen this play out. We're setting a lower high. Hopefully we won't set a lower low, and this might turn into a small triangle formation, which could actually end up resolving to the upside, right? So hopefully that is the case. But going back, I want to show you guys more of the long-term scenario here. I've actually talked about it a couple times. I'll go ahead and remove this here. I've actually talked about it a couple times. If you've been watching my videos, I set the scenario up here a couple days ago. You guys can look at my other videos and see for yourselves. But here we have the support line coming in here. And now I'm going to go ahead and draw my Fibonacci retracements. Actually, right here. There we go. And from swing low to this swing high here, our previous high. Okay, so we have that. And look at that. Yeah, so we're right around 8,200, right where we're at right now. Bitcoin's still not sure what it wants to do. Might want to go up. Again, if we see supporting volume and we do pierce through that, then I would look at actually our previous high as our next stop, which would be, well, look at that, lining up with our top resistance here at around 9,700. I mean, I don't think we're going to get there in one shot. I think we're going to, grind this area here until we actually do reach it. But then if that's the case, then, I would be even more cautious about the pullback or correction that would be coming after that. It would be something that I definitely would fear a bit because the bigger they are as far as these runs, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. So yeah, definitely want to be careful about that. So is this pump related to the consensus mm, meetup, right? These conferences, is it related? Is it not? What do you guys think? I actually want to say that it is not. That this is. Gee, some of you guys are not going to like me for this, but I'm really hoping that this is an organic move, right? That this is, that this here was um, a way of the market saying, okay, we were actually way oversold and we needed to correct this. And the price, the actual price of Bitcoin is probably right around here, right? Right around the 6,000 range, like we were for a very long time. And maybe consolidate back again in this area here, and then start to make another move up. That would also be a very bullish scenario in the long term. I would definitely like to see that happening, as opposed to keeping this run going and then having a harder fall and potentially setting a lower low over the 3,000. The more time we spend above 5,000, $5,500 range, the more time we spend up there, and we don't go parabolic, the more I can definitely start to shift my mentality and think that this might be, we might actually be out of the bear market. Um, Again, I'm looking for this to play out in the next couple of months, June, July, August timeframe. and we'll see. We'll see. We'll take it a step at a time. See where Bitcoin goes next, and again assess from there. Um, but also the other thing, as I was mentioning, I saw the altcoins moving quite a bit this morning, and so I actually entered a trade a couple days ago on Litecoin. Again, I'm using Binance because that's where I trade. So just keep in mind that the price you'll see is based on Binance. But yeah, I entered a trade a couple days ago around $88, and I saw that finally the move, the kind of Bitcoin was actually kind of stagnant, not doing much right in this area here, and finally it looked like some money was starting to filter and bleed to the altcoins. We saw Ethereum make a nice run. We saw Bitcoin Cash, although they had a glitch in their latest fork, they actually had a pretty good pump prior to that. Maybe that glitch did have a kind of pump the brakes on Bitcoin Cash and actually stop what could have been a bigger move and bigger gains. But yeah, Litecoin made a nice move. It actually is looking pretty bullish right now still, kind of staying at 99 around the $100 range. I think this one still has a few more um, legs in it to make a run to maybe 110, 115-ish area. But again, it all depends on what Bitcoin's going to do now that the conferences, the main conference of the year is over. And if the pump is due to the consensus conference, then we're going to see it. We're going to see Bitcoin make a move downward, and usually that means that the altcoins are going to follow. So what Bitcoin does, that's pretty much what the altcoins do. Um, we did see this run on Bitcoin just kind of take all the action and take all of the attention away from the alts. And until pretty much today, we really saw a real nice move um, in the last week or so. So it's good to see that. I'm hoping that you guys, also entered into some of those trades and made some money. Um, like I did. Like I said, I just entered. I don't really trade much altcoins because of the liquidity factor. I like to stay somewhere where I can get in and out of my positions if I need to, and that's just keep it low risk. Because again, everything. If you're gonna trade a shit coin, then that's risk, that's high risk in itself, and then you add the liquidity factor onto it, and that's just a bad recipe for not much success. So I typically like to stay within the top 5, top 10, maybe top 15. On rare occasion, if I see something that's very obvious, something that's way oversold, and I know that it's recovered from there in the past, then I'll probably enter into that. Um, Actually, XRP had a nice move as well. It was kind of dead for a while, but then look at this. Finally, it woke up, and we saw XRP making a nice move, although it's kind of come down ever since. Didn't actually get down to the 21 exponential. Actually, um, yeah, it bounced back way earlier than that. So I'm still staying bullish on XRP. It's good to see it bounce like that. It actually went down to some of its previous lows here not that long ago. And again, it was not running with Bitcoin. And some of the alts did make a move to the upside prior to Bitcoin coming to a halt. But then you saw XRP kind of staying put, right? Not doing much, not following the trend, and that was kind of scary. Although they did dump about 160 million dollars worth of XRP back in the market. Sort of a BS move in my eyes. Don't really like when a project like that can have that kind of power and dump on its community. So again, it is a wild market. It is a crypto market. Stay safe out there. Be very careful. And I also wanted to take a look at ETH real quick. But overall, yeah, XRP is still bullish. I think it's going to bounce and keep going up unless, again, Bitcoin decides to dump. If it does, then we all know what's going to happen. Um, ETH and same kind of move. See that? So again, all the alts started pumping today earlier, and they all pretty much had the same type of price action here. This one, I mean, not even near the 21. So I'm again going to stay bullish on Ether. Uh, I know you're probably getting tired of me saying this, but unless again Bitcoin dumps, then everybody's going to dump. But right now, I think it is time for the alts to make these type of moves. I'm looking for continuation tomorrow in the next couple of days. So as long as Bitcoin stays at least stagnant and doesn't decide to take a massive dump. As far as the technical analysis, that's all I got. I'm going to go ahead and move on to something else here. I saw a tweet by Bitcoin.com. This is now, guys, if you're new to the crypto market, you should know this. Uh, Bitcoin, the Twitter handle, is not the real Bitcoin, not the original Bitcoin. It is Bitcoin Cash. So if you see that on Twitter, no, it's really being handled by the Bitcoin Cash community, whoever that might be. I think Roger Ver might be actually involved in that. Um, can't say for sure, but I think he is. He is definitely behind it. It definitely plays to the same tune as what Roger Ver says all the time in his Twitter. I follow him as well on Twitter, and then you could see the correlation between what Bitcoin tweets out and what Roger Ver definitely tweets out. So just be real careful and know that when you see the Bitcoin logo here on Twitter, it means not the real Bitcoin core. It means BCH or BCH ABC, however you want to call it. But they're making a claim here that they're comparing their fees to Bitcoin fees, and over here you see Bitcoin's fees kind of being a little volatile here, going up and down in the amount of fees you pay to transfer Bitcoin, whereas they're claiming that theirs is super stable. And I mean, yeah, you could definitely tell that their fees are pretty stagnant. They're not really jumping up and down. Um, and you can pretty much say, okay, this is how much I'm going to pay if I want to transfer Bitcoin Cash. Dandy, that's fine. But what they don't mention is that um, their block is actually their blockchain is actually not being utilized. And I brought the blockchain explorer up here so that we can sort of analyze that and get a little granular on that sort of analysis. You can see that this is the Bitcoin BCH, Bitcoin Cash Explorer, and I mean you can tell. Look at the amount of transactions here. 128 transactions, 160 in this block. So I mean, yeah, they got pretty busy at a couple times, keeping their fees pretty low. But again, there's not much going on here. So they tweeted out, our fees are super low compared to Bitcoin. You can't even expect you can't even know what you might pay as a fee if you try to transfer value through the Bitcoin blockchain. Um, and kind of bashing Bitcoin in that sense. But you can definitely make the case that hey, you guys, there's hardly any traffic on your blockchain. There's not really much going on. Um, so we compare it to the actual Bitcoin core and look at, I mean, 3, 4, 5, 10 times the amount of transactions going through the Bitcoin blockchain. So that is something that they're definitely not telling you, and something that it definitely gives reason to what's going on with minor fees. So just kind of wanted to point that out. If you are new again to the crypto sphere, just know that there's some deceiving players out there that want to take the attention away from the real Bitcoin. So just be careful out there and be careful what you read. Don't believe everything that you see on Twitter. All right, guys, that's pretty much all I had for you guys today. Thanks so much for joining. If you did enjoy the content, if you did enjoy the video, please give me a like. Please tell your friends and family. I'm going to try to do these videos every, hopefully as frequent as possible. Again, due to having a baby here pretty soon, so looking forward to that, and looking forward to hopefully being able to keep up with you guys and keep bringing you the content. Again, share, follow us on Instagram. I usually post daily news and events there, and you can kind of tell what I'm going to be talking about during the evening. Um, so definitely hit us up there. Send me a message. Let me know you're following. I do follow back. So yeah. So any thoughts? Definitely leave them down in the comment area. This is a new channel, so I'm sure to get back to you and answer any questions you might have. If you want to see some fundamental analysis to go with this, if you want to talk about a certain project, definitely let me know. Again, I'm pretty. I mean, I don't want to sound arrogant or anything, but I do kind of know my stuff. So yeah, definitely let me know what you guys want to talk about, how you feel about the channel so far. I would love to get any feedback from you guys. All right, well, thanks so much for joining, and we'll see you on the next one. The Real Shaw 256. Tell your friends about it. Give us some likes. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good night.